Coming up, Onaway's former city clerk is wanted for embezzlement today. We'll tell you how many taxpayer dollars were stolen.
And Amazon's new warehouse opened up on the Washington-Idaho border. What can that mean for local delivery times? Up next.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Hi, I'm Blaine Akers.
And I'm Kaya Bonilla. Welcome back to Murrow News 8.
The man police say set fire to a Pullman apartment has pled guilty to 3 charges. 40-year-old Elijah Reagan was charged with 1 count of first-degree arson, 1 count of second-degree malicious damage to property, and 1 count of eluding a police vehicle. The guilty plea was under reason of insanity. Reagan's next hearing will be the 21st of next month.
The former clerk for the small city of Onaway, Bridget Bailey, is wanted on an arrest warrant for allegedly embezzling thousands of dollars in taxpayer money. Bailey allegedly embezzled nearly $7,500 on Onaway taxpayer funds between November of 2022 and December of last year. Court documents reveal that Bailey used the city's debit card for personal expenses, and the investigation began in January. Bailey failed to show up to her court appearance on Monday.
Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories announced plans for a new manufacturing facility in Moscow. The new facility will be about 150,000 square feet and is expected to open in 2027. It will be next to SEL's circuit board factory that opened in 2023. SEL is also planning facilities in Boise, Idaho, and Charlotte, North Carolina.
An Amazon warehouse has opened in the Palouse. The warehouse will act as a delivery station and is located on the Moscow-Pullman Highway. This opening has provided hundreds of new jobs as well as same-day delivery for items like groceries, toiletries, and more. The station is part of a $4 billion effort by Amazon to improve rural delivery speeds.
The state of Idaho is facing a projected budget deficit of nearly $57 million. Idaho Governor Brad Little announced that more than $13 million of that deficit will be made up of cuts from Idaho's state-run colleges. According to the University of Idaho, they will have to cut 28 faculty and staff positions as it prepares to cut $3.4 million of funding. Speaking of campus findings, WSU is working on a microorganism that they believe can help protect apples and pears from disease. The organism is known for surviving in harsh conditions and could become an effective weapon against the devastating fruit disease, fire blight. Lead researcher Cynthia Hazeltine says her main goal is to help local farmers.
Last weekend was full of events. It was both Parents' Weekend and a winning home game against Toledo. With celebration comes shenanigans. This kept WSU police busy, with 3 reports of sneaking alcohol into Martin Stadium, 4 reports of people being ejected for bringing alcohol in the student section, and 7 reports of minors in possession of alcohol. There was also a reported assault in the stadium. The victim said that after having a drink splashed on her, she was punched in the face. We reached out to WSU police and they said that this was tame compared to prior game day weekends, the Apple Cup having 28 alcohol offenses.
The Whitman County online voter registration deadline is today. That said, in-person registration ends on Election Day, November 4th. WSU students can vote at the WSU Student Hub in the Cub second floor ballroom. We went on campus to get opinions on the local election.
I think it's important to vote. You're here for a reason, but it is your decision whether you want to make an impact for yourself or future students. In general.
Coming up, the government shutdown is now the second longest in history. How the Pullman Moscow Airport is feeling the effects.
And it's starting to get near freezing temps here in Pullman. Alex has got your weather plus a Halloween night forecast up next.
Today marks the 27th day of the government shutdown, and about 1.5 million employees missed a full paycheck this week because of it. The shutdown has impacted airlines across the country, delaying travel times, staffing, and airline workers essentially working for free. Our reporter Rachel's at the Pullman Moscow Airport right now, where she has more information about the nationwide effects on flights. Rachel?
Yes, Blaine. Well, there have been more than 4,000 flights delayed nationwide on Monday as we are at the 27th day of the government shutdown. And I am currently at the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport right now, where we tried to talk to a TSA agent about how this shutdown is impacting us here in Pullman, but they were not able to give us a comment. There have been 222 staffing shortages reported since the start of the shutdown, which is more than 4 times the amount that it was during this time last year. As of right now, there is ongoing conversations about where things will stand, and we will continue to provide you those updates here on Murrow News 8. Reporting live from Pullman Moscow Airport, I'm Rachel Turcott for Murrow News 8.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture won't disperse Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits on November 1st. The benefits were still running on October because the states received federal funding before the government shutdown began. Well, Blaine, it's getting pretty cold out lately. It's kind of making me rethink my Halloween costumes. Let's send it over to Alex to see how this week's gonna look.
Thanks, Kaya. And yeah, it is definitely getting colder. I woke up this morning. First thing I did was turn up the heat in my house. May make the electricity bill go up, but that's okay. It'll be worth it because it's getting cold. Today, 46 degrees, but with the wind, 22 miles per hour southeast wind makes it feel a lot colder, about 39 degrees. Tomorrow, around the same thing, 40s. And dropping, but with that wind, you can't get out there and golf and your balls are going to be flying all over the place. But still sunny. Let's look across the map. Starting over on the west side, this is the point of the year where it starts to get warmer over there than it is over here on the east side. Seattle, Olympia, sunny, 50s, pretty nice. Middle of the state, Yakima, Tri-Cities, around the same thing, both sunny. And then if we look over here on the east side, we got Spokane, cloudy, Pullman, sunny, and let's look at the 5-day forecast. So it is Halloween week, and the Cougs are going to be out wearing their costumes. Looking at the week, it's a lot of cold weather. Friday, which is Halloween, I know I'm going to have to rethink my Hooters costume. It's going to be quite cold, and I might need something else. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Rain Saturday. Good thing it's not a home game. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you, Alex. Football had a big win against Toledo, snapping their 2-game skid. Why Jimmy Rogers says the grit of the team is crucial to their success.
And men and women's basketball took big dubs in their exhibition games this weekend. Jets got the stat breakdown up next.
Hello, I'm Jet Hatch with your Murrow News 8 Sports. After 35 days, the Cougs are back at home to face the Toledo Rockets during the family's weekend home game. The Cougs came into the game as a 1.5-point underdog. They would show Vegas why they should have been favorites. The injured Cougs defense was locked in, holding the Rockets to only 66 yards with 5 fourth-down stops. The Cougars defense also ended their interception drought, catching their first pick of the season in the fourth quarter. Here's what Jimmy Rogers had to say about the win despite having a banged-up team.
When you win games, when you have injuries, it's kind of a blessing, you know, because those guys are getting reps and a lot of reps and growing and learning. But that maybe they don't get that opportunity because the guy ahead of them's healthy. So you just got to look at things differently, and I'm excited that we were able to get this one the way we did.
WSU women's basketball had 8 different scorers in their 92-41 exhibition against Eastern Oregon. It was a good game to get the rust off, as there were 5 players who scored in double digits. The Cougars open up their season on Monday, November 3rd at 11 a.m. against Idaho. WSU men's basketball beat New Mexico 74-66 Saturday. Boise State transfer Emmanuel Ugbo led the team with 16 points and grabbed 7 rebounds, had 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block. High Point transfer Simon Hildebrandt scored 10 points off the bench. The Cougars held New Mexico to 26.7% shooting from the field and 25% from 3. WSU turned the ball over 19 times, but balanced that out with drawing 30 fouls and shooting 29 for 43 from the free throw line. The Cougars start the season Monday, November 3rd against Idaho at Beasley Coliseum. Here's what David Riley had to say.
I think the biggest thing is just kind of understanding like what works that you've been doing in practice for the last, I don't know how, 3-4 months it seems like that we've been doing it, and what's kind of fake that we're going against each other that's not going to translate to a real game. And so I think it's super important to be able to play against someone else and test this stuff out. Like you saw some stuff we did offensively, especially that first half.
Speaking of WSU basketball, Cedric Coward started his season off with a bang. Coward is averaging 19 points on 22 minutes of play. That included a 27-point performance against the Indianapolis Pacers Saturday, where he shot 6 for 6 from 3. Soccer fell to the Portland Pilots 1-0 after an early 11th minute goal. That saw a stunner from Portland's Tavy Khan. The Cougs fall to 5-6-5 on the season, and they'll take on Pepperdine for senior night Saturday.
Thanks, Jet. WSU fans joined a national trend at the football game. Well, at least the men did. Such from the crowd of shirts and if some of our crew participated. Up next.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience. Thank you so much.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
The Cougs have a new home tradition. Students found a way to celebrate the win before the game was even over. What started with a small crowd turned into over 100 shirtless fans waving their tops in the air at around the end of the third quarter. The tradition has recently taken the college football landscape by storm, with several schools hopping on the trend. What were you guys thinking when you first saw this?
Well, I've seen it across, like at every college football game I saw every game have it happen.
And yeah, you know, it makes me think of Muscle Man from Regular Show.
That's a good point.